रोशनी रोशनी उम्मीद है तामीर दाए रोशनी उम्मीद है तामीर दाए कम है मंजिल तस्खीर की तदबीर दाए कम है।
Today I am going to speak on a very meaningful topic, knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. Knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. Knowledge is the light that removes the darkness of knowledge. It gives us the power to understand and make the right decision in life. Respected judges, a person who has knowledge is strong the right decision in life. Respected judges, a person who has knowledge is stronger than a person who has only physical strength. على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today I am going to speak on a very meaningful topic. Knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. Knowledge is the light that removes the darkness of ignorance. It gives us the power to think, to understand, and to make the right decision. Amma Bad, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today I am going to speak. Knowledge is power. Today I am going to speak on a very meaningful topic. Knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is the light that removes the darkness of ignorance. It gives us the power to think, to understand, and to make the right decision in life. Knowledge is power. Today I am going to speak on a very meaningful topic. Knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. On a very meaningful topic. Knowledge is power. These three words carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. Knowledge is the light that removes the darkness of ignorance. Carry a deep message. Knowledge is power. Carry a deep message. Knowledge is not just information written in books. Written in books. Knowledge is like that removes. Respected judges, his story is full of examples of people who achieved greatness simply because they
Start.
Respected judges and dear friends, today I want to share a simple but powerful message. Work hard and never give up. Respected judges, in life every one of us faces challenges. Sometimes things don't go the way we want. We fail a test, we lose a competition, or we feel like. But remember one thing, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Respected judges, in life every great person who admired has أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected judges, honorable teachers and dear friends, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Today I want to talk about a fear that lives inside many of us, the fear of failure. From a young age we are taught to succeed, to win, to be perfect. But we are rarely taught that failure is not the end. In fact, it is often the beginning. but remember nothing amazing, our happiness in the comfort. Assalamu alaikum. Today I want to talk about fear that live inside many of us, the fear of failure. From a young age we are taught to succeed, to win, to be perfect. But we are really taught that failure is not the end. In fact, it is beginning. Respected judges, failure does not mean you are weak, incapable. Failure means you are trying. Every successful person in the world has failed many times before achieving greatness. Respected judges, when we are afraid to fail, فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected judges, honorable teachers, and dear friends, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Today I want to talk about a fear that lives inside many of us, the fear of failure. From a young age, we are taught to succeed, to win, to be perfect. But we are really taught that failure is not the end. In fact, it is often the beginning. Respected judges, failure does not mean you are weak or incapable. Failure means you tried. Every successful person in the world has failed many times before achieving greatness. Respected judges, when we are afraid to fail, we stop taking chances. We stop dreaming big. We choose comfort over growth. Failure teaches us, listen to Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He begged the people of Pakistan to live in freedom and peace. He did not fail on fighting with swords. Instead, he used his speeches, letters, and writing to explain his idea clearly and bring people together. His work helped create Pakistan. This shows thinking, speaking, writing wisely can change the world. Respected judges, the pen is important in our daily lives too. Through writing, we can share knowledge, express our thoughts, and communicate with others. Books, newspaper, and even school lessons are all the ways that change hearts, minds, and even the world. One example is Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He wanted the people of Pakistan to live in freedom and peace. He did not rely on fighting with swords. Instead, he used his speeches, letters, and writing to explain his ideas clearly and bring people together. His words helped create Pakistan. This shows us thinking, speaking, and writing wisely can change the world. Respected judges, the pen is a part of our daily lives too. Through writing, we can share knowledge, express our thought, and communicate with others. Books, newspapers, and even I'm going to talk about a very important idea. The pen is not that sword. At first, you might wonder, what does it mean? We all know a sword can fight in a different set of words. Respected judges, words can change hearts, mind, and even the world. One example is Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He wanted the people of Pakistan to live in freedom and peace. He did not rely on fighting with swords. Instead, he used speeches, letters, writing, explain his ideas clearly, and brought people together. His words like create Pakistan. They show us thinking, speaking, writing, wisely can change the world. Respected judges, the pen is important in our daily lives too. Through writing, we can share. We all know a sword can fight. A sword can fight and win battles, but pen can fight in different ways with words. Respected judges, words can change heart, mind, and even the world. One example is Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He wanted the people of Pakistan to live in freedom and peace. He did not rely on fighting with sword. Instead, he used his speeches, letters, and writing to explain his idea clearly and bring people together. His word helped create Pakistan. This shows us thinking, speaking, and writing wisely can change the world. Respected judges, the pen is important in our daily lives. Through writing, we can share knowledge, express our thoughts, and communicate with others. Books, newspapers, and even school lessons are all ways that the pen teach us. A single idea, written or spoken carefully, can inspire many people. Dear audience, many leaders in history proved that peaceful words are more effective than fighting. Education, speeches, and writing can solve problems that weapons cannot. In conclusion, we should remember that knowledge and words are stronger than physical force. By learning, thinking, and speaking wisely, we can solve many problems just like ideas. Thank you. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear
sword. At first you might wonder what does it mean. We all know sword can fight and pen win battle, but the pen can fight in a different way with words. Respected judges, war can change heart, mind, and even the word. One example, Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He wanted the people of Pakistan to live in freedom and peace. He did not rely on fighting with sword. Instead, he used his speech, letter, and writing to explain his idea clearly and bring people together. His sword helped create Pakistan. This shows us thinking, speaking, and writing visually can change the world. Respected judges, the pen is important in our daily lives to through writing. We can share knowledge, express our thoughts, and communicate with other books, newspaper, and even school lessons are always there. We won't teach us a single idea written, spoken carefully can inspire many people. Dear audience, many leaders in history proved peaceful words are more effective than fighting. Education, speech, and writing can solve problems that we cannot. In conclusion, we should remember that knowledge and words are stronger than physical force. By learning, thinking, and speaking visually can solve many problems just like I did.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected judges, honorable teachers, and my dear fellows, good morning and assalamu alaikum. This is me Roshni Iqbal, student of grade 4. Today I am standing before you with strong belief and clear message. I am the builder of my nation. Respected judge, a nation is not built only by governments, buildings, or laws. A nation is by people, by their character, honesty, education, and sense of responsibility. And every strong nation begins with one responsible individual. Honorable judge, when I say I am the builder of my nation, I cannot mean that I will rule the country and make big decisions overnight. I mean that I will build myself first. Respected judges, a nation is not built only by government, building, or laws. A nation is by people, by their character, honesty, education, and sense of responsibility. And every strong nation begins with one responsible individual. Honorable judges, when I say I am the builder of my nation, I do not mean that I will rule the country or make big decisions overnight. I mean that I will build myself first, my thought, my value, and my action. History teaches us that nation runs when their people are disciplined, educated, and morally strong. Honorable judges, and our strong nation begins with one responsible individual. Honorable judges, when I say I am the builder of my nation, I do not mean that I will rule the country or make big decisions overnight. I mean that I will rule myself first, without invest in my actions. History teaches that nation rise when their people are disciplined, educated, and morally strong. Dear audience, as a student, my first duty is to get knowledge. Education is the most powerful tool for nation building. A true nation builder must also have a strong character. Dear audience, a builder of nation also cares about unity. Our nation is made of different cultures, languages, and ideas. Instead of dividing, I choose to unite. Instead of spreading hatred, I spread hope. Instead of blaming others, I take responsibility. Respected judges, great leaders, ordinary individuals who believe in change. They did not wait for the nation to improve. They become the change themselves. If every young person today decides to...
Honorable teachers and my dear fellows, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Today I stand before you to speak a powerful truth. Build yourself before you build a nation. A nation is not made of plain buildings or borders. A nation is made of people. Indeed, people are weak in character, knowledge, and discipline. The nation ever becomes strong. Before we talk about changing the system, improving the economy, and developing the country, we must ask ourselves one important question: have we developed ourselves? Respected judges, building ourselves means educating your mind, strengthening your character, and disciplining your habit. It means being honest when no one is watching, hardworking when no one is forcing, responsible even when it is difficult. Respected judges, a nation cannot rise if it's judged by hard work. Like purpose or wait for other to fix the problem. History proves that a great nation was built by self Pakistan.
Judges, honorable teachers, and my dear school fellows, Assalamu alaikum. Today I am here to speak about very powerful truth. Build yourself before you build a nation. Respected judges, a nation is not made of land, buildings, or border. A nation is made of people, and if people are weak in character, knowledge, or discipline, no nation can ever become strong. Before we talk about changing the system, improving our economy, or developing our country, we must ask one important question with ourselves. Have we developed ourselves? Respected judges, building means educating your mind, strengthening your character, and disciplining your habits. It means be honest when no are watching, hard work when no are forcing, and responsible even when it's difficult. Respected judges, a nation cannot rise if it yells about hard work, lacks purpose, or wait to others to fix the problem. History proves that great nations are self-built nations before demanding a national change. Dear fellows, Qadir once said, there is no power on earth that can undo Pakistan, but this power only comes when the citizens are sincere, educated, and morally strong. When we build ourselves, we become good students, honest workers, and true leaders. A discipline creates a disciplined society. A truthful person creates a true, trustworthy.
Respected judges, a nation cannot rise if its youth avoids hard work, lack purpose, or wait for others to fix the problems. History proves that great nations are built by self-built individuals, people who believed in self-improvement before demanding national change. Dear fellows, Qayyasa Muhammad Ali Jinnah once said, there is no power on earth that can undo Pakistan. But this power comes only when citizens are sincere, educated, and morally strong. When we build ourselves, we become good students, honest workers, responsible citizens, and true leaders. A disciplined individual creates a disciplined society. A truthful person builds a trustworthy nation. Honorable judges, if we want a corruption-free country, we must stop corruption in our own ways. If we want peace, we must practice tolerance. If we want progress, we must work hard and stop blaming others. Dear fellows, nation building does not begin in parliament. It began in our hearts and mind. So, let us promise today to improve ourselves before criticizing others, to build our character before building career, to strengthen our values before strengthening our nation. Because when individuals rise, nation rise.
He believed of strong individual become the foundation of a strong nation. He inspired the youth by saying, नहीं है ना उम्मीद इकबाल अपनी कश्त वीरा से, नहीं है ना उम्मीद इकबाल अपनी कश्त वीरा से, जरा नम हो तो ये मिट्टी बड़ी जरखेज है साकी. This poetry reflects Iqbal's unshakable beliefs in the potential of Muslim youth. Respected judges, Allama Muhammad Iqbal dreamed of freedom from mental slavery and blind imagination. He warned against losing identity and said, गुलामी में नाकाम आती है न शमशीरें न तदबीरें, गुलामी में नाकाम आती है न तदबीरें न शमशीरें, जो हो ज़ौक़े यकी तो कट जाती है ज़ंजीरें. Respected judges, in 1930, Iqbal presented the idea of a separate homeland from Muslim, which.
Respected judges, honorable teachers, and my dear school fellows, Assalamu alaikum. Today I feel honored to speak on a very inspiring topic, Iqbal's dream. Respected judges, Allama Muhammad Iqbal was not only a great poet but also a philosopher and a visionary leader. His poetry was not meant only to be read, it was meant to awake a sleeping nation. Honorable judges, Iqbal dreamed of a nation that was self-aware, confident, and morally strong. He wanted Muslims to recognize their true identity and inner power. That's why he said, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले, खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Through the words, Iqbal teaches when a person stands his khudi, selfhood, and even his destiny bow before him. Dear fellows, the core of Iqbal's dream was khudi. He believed a strong individual become the foundation of a strong nation. He inspired the young by saying, नहीं है ना उम्मीद इकबाल अपनी कश्त वीरान से, नहीं है ना उम्मीद इकबाल अपनी कश्त वीरान से, जरा न होते मिट्टी बहुत जरखेज है साकी.
Respected judges, honorable teachers, and my dear fellows, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I am standing before you to speak on a very meaningful topic. Great leaders are made by great characters. A great leadership does not come from power, position, or wealth. It comes from a person's
Honorable teachers and my dear fellows, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Today I stand before you to speak on a very meaningful topic. Great leaders are made by great character. True leadership does not come from power, position or wealth. It comes from character. A person's honesty, patience, courage, kindness shape him into a true leader. And when we look for the best example, our such leadership one name shines above all, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, respected judges. From his early life, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was now as Al-Amin and Sadiq. Even before receiving prophethood, people trust him with their wealth or secret and problem because his character was pure and noble. Dear audience, our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ lived his followers.
All our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu respected judges. From his early life, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu was known as Sadiq and Amin. Even before receiving prophethood, people trusted him with their wealth, secrets, and problems because his character was pure and noble. Dear audience, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu led his followers not with fear, with love and example. His leadership was based on character, not serving others. He taught the best among people are those who are best in character. Respected judges, a great leader doesn't start with the ability to choose what is right or what is easy. Let's take some examples from history. Qazi Muhammad Jindal, the founder of Pakistan, was not just a political leader but a man of firm principle. He chose forgiveness over revenge. He stood by truth, justice, and discipline. His famous motto, unity, faith, discipline, reflects his character. It was his honesty, determination, and integrity that earned him respect and ultimately led to the creation of Pakistan. Dear audience, similarly, Nelson Mandela spent 27 long years in prison. When he came out, he chose forgiveness over revenge. That is character. His leadership united a nation divided by hate. Once Mandela said he learned that